Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Salatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah. This is me, Quratulain Bukhari, Leadership Ali, from Rehan AI Teachers Training Institute, guide number 24 and level number 1. I welcome you all to my show, the Visions and the Values show. Today I'm here to record a review video of a TEDx talk by Brené Brown, and the topic of TEDx talk is the power of vulnerability. So I have gone through it and I have made some notes, and today I want to share them with you as it is my assignment to record a video about it. So, what happens when a researcher spends years studying human connection and discovers something deeply personal about herself? This is exactly what happened to Brené Brown in her famous TEDxHouston talk, The Power of Vulnerability. Brown describes herself as a researcher who studies connection, why people connect, love, belong, and empathize. But she was once told that she was actually a storyteller. At first, she resisted the idea, but eventually she realized that storytelling was actually at the heart of her research, and that realization opened the door to one of the most powerful discoveries of her career. Brown's research led her to a simple but profound conclusion, that is, people who experience a strong sense of love and belonging believe they are worthy of love and belonging. They aren't necessarily more successful, they aren't perfect, they don't have fewer problems. The difference is that they believe I am enough. They allow themselves to be seen as they truly are instead of constantly trying to prove their worth. And this led Brown to an even deeper question: what prevents us from believing that we are worthy? Her answer was shame. Brown describes shame as the painful fear that something about us makes us unworthy of connection. We think, if people really knew me, would they still love me? Almost everyone experiences shame, but very few people openly talk about it. Brown discovered that the people who lived what she called over-hearted lives handled shame differently. They practiced three important things. Courage means being willing to be imperfect. Compassion means treating themselves and others with kindness. Connection, that is, allowing themselves to be authentic instead of pretending to be someone else. And this brought her to the central idea of the entire talk, that is, vulnerability. We often think vulnerability means weakness. We think we need to protect ourselves, hide our emotions, and always appear strong. But Brown completely reframes vulnerability. She argues that vulnerability is actually where many of life's most meaningful experiences begin. Joy, creativity, belonging, love. Just think about it. To love someone deeply, there is vulnerability. To create something new, there is vulnerability. To say, I'm sorry, there is vulnerability. To ask for help, there is vulnerability. To build a genuine relationship, there is vulnerability. So, vulnerability isn't the opposite of strength. It can actually be an expression of courage. So, one of the strongest idea in Brown's talk is that we cannot selectively numb our emotions. We may think, I don't want to feel fear, I don't want to feel disappointment, I don't want to feel shame. So we build emotional walls. But the problem is that when we numb the painful emotions, we also numb the positive ones. We cannot avoid vulnerability and still experience deep connection. We cannot completely shut out sadness while keeping unlimited access to joy. If we armor ourselves against pain, we often end up protecting ourselves from happiness too. Perhaps the most relatable part of the talk is Brown's one reaction to her research. After discovering all of this, she didn't simply say, Wonderful, now I'll practice vulnerability. Instead, she struggled. She describes going through a period of therapy because she wanted to understand, control, and fix vulnerability. But actually, she realized something important. You cannot simply study vulnerability, you have to practice it. Knowledge alone was not enough. She had to actually live what she had discovered. And that brings us to the heart of Brené Brown's message. We don't need to become perfect before we allow ourselves to be loved. We don't need to hide our weaknesses before we deserve connection. And we don't need to have everything figured out before we can say, I'm enough. The real courage is allowing ourselves to be seen, to love without guarantees, to experience love without constantly waiting for something to go wrong, to practice gratitude, to accept our imperfections, and most importantly, to show up as our authentic selves. Brené Brown's message is simple and powerful. Vulnerability is not weakness, it is the birthplace of connection, courage, creativity, and love. So perhaps the question we should all ask ourselves is, what would change in my life if I stopped trying to prove that I am enough and simply believed that what I am? So that was it from my side, and I'm signing off with this message, and with some other topic in some other video. I'll meet again. Till then, Allah bless you all.